All right? Last one, health is wealth. Health is wealth. You got to create clarity. Now, when I'm talking about health, most people think of what? What are you going to think of when I say health?
Physical.
Physical health, right? Like what? Working out, right? Going to the gym, the way you eating, whatever the case may be. You think of whatever it is. Here's what I want to help you with, because most people think, I'm not motivated. I just need someone to motivate me. I need a coach like Tony. Oh, no, you don't. Tony will hurt you, okay? Be careful what you ask for, because Tony has hurt me many times, right? You see, you don't need motivation. I'm going to say it again. You don't need motivation. You need clarity. Now, what do you think I mean by that? We're talking about health. You need clarity. What do you think I mean by that? Say it out loud. What do you think?
Mental.
Okay, mental clarity. Okay. Anybody else want to take a shot? No wrong answers. Just tell me what you're thinking.
Clear things for what they are.
Okay, kind of seeing the reality of the situation. That's good. What else?
Clarity on what you actually want.
Okay, what you want. Okay, clarity. What do you want? Deciding on what we want. I want you to think about this. Go back in your record books. Go back in your memory logs. Think about something that you were striving for. For most of you, when you hit that goal, it's because you were really clear in what you wanted. It wasn't even like a question. You were like laser beam, like I know what I want, clarity, right? So let me tell you what happened for me in my wealth journey. In my health journey. In my health journey. Let me tell you what happened to me. 2016, I get a text from Tony, okay, my trainer, who I had worked out with before, but I had since lapsed quite, a lot. He sends me a picture of like my neck and how I was like in a video. Like he literally zoomed in and it was like, and I remember getting this text and all it said is, what are we going to do about this? That's my trainer. I'm telling you, that's Tony, okay? But now, we had that relationship where, right, like, we could have that conversation, like man to man, like, let's be real. What are we going to do about this? And I remember thinking I had already started to develop this clarity. I was starting to think about things. And it was around 2016 that I decided, I had like this moment of clarity where I said, okay, I want to see my granddaughter. This was the clarity moment for me. Okay, stay with me. Because you're like, how old was Enzo? He was 8, right? He was like 8 or 9, right? And I had this moment of clarity as I said, I want to see my granddaughter. How is that going to be possible? Started asking myself questions, right? Well, I'm going to have to lose a lot of weight. I'm going to have to get in shape. I'm going to have to take care of my body. I'm going to have to think about food differently. How am I going to see my granddaughter? I got to change my mindset. I got to change everything. I got to get really clear. Now, I got so clear with this that there were times when I would be in the ring working with Tony, feeling like I was like, there's no more he can push me. I can't push any further. And I would look in the corner of the gym that we were at, and I would visualize seeing my granddaughter. Oh, and her name is Jordan, by the way. I already told my son, you have to name your daughter Jordan. Yeah.
Okay.
I already told him that. We're cool. Like, he's like, I get it, Dad. You're going to name her Jordan. I get it. But I could see Jordan watching me, and the only thing that I kept thinking is like, okay, if I get through this workout, I'm one step closer to being able to run around with her and hang out with her. One step closer to being in a position to take care of myself so that I can not only meet her, but play with her, right? So when you get really clear like that, things start to change. Like, you get really clear like that, every workout becomes, like a mental, like, okay. Then it got to the point where I didn't even need to visualize her anymore. It was just, now here's the question. You ready? Here's the question. When you have clarity, what happens to motivation?
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, irrelevant in what sense? Let me ask you that.
Motivation is temporary.
Yeah.
Purpose
Yeah.
It becomes automatic.
It almost becomes to the point where you have all of the motivation. It's just there, right? Like and tell me that word you said. It doesn't, what word did you use a little while ago? Just a minute ago.
Motivation.
Yeah, about motivation. You said the word irrelevant. So irrelevant in the sense that it's just there. And motivation is not like we think it's the motivation that we need to go do what we need to do. It's not that you need the motivation. You need the clarity, and the motivation is just there. It's not a matter of motivation because you're so clear on what it is you want. So let me tell you what happens. It caused me to start eliminating excuses. The excuses were gone. I have my purpose. I have my clarity. I need to see my granddaughter. And then this is what happened. I bought a pair of shoes. I bought a pair of running shoes. And the reason why I bought a pair of running shoes is because I had someone in the boxing class. There were three ladies. It was Mandy. Y'all know Mandy, right, from Secession. Mandy was in the class. Jamie Spanley was in the class. I don't know if y'all know Jamie Spanley. She's in the loan business. And Natalie Biggers. And those three ladies hit me with Tony, and Tony's killing us. And we're about to get into sit-ups. And Jamie goes, Tomas, you need to run. This is 2016. And I said, running is stupid. I don't need to run unless somebody's chasing me, right? Who wants to run? That's dumb. She goes, Tomas, I challenge you, Jamie Spanley, I challenge you to run 3 miles tomorrow. Just go run 3 miles tomorrow. Now, I have been walking. I'm a walker. That's what I do. I go and I walk, It's better for my joints. It's better for me. And she goes, go run 3 miles. So guess what? I go home and I was like, oh, Jamie, I can't believe she challenged me to run 3 miles. Got up that morning. I started running and I hit that. If you're anybody runners, anybody that runs in here, run a little. Yeah, okay. That first mile, all I kept thinking about is when I see Jamie, I am going to yell at her. It hurt so bad that first mile. But I said, I'm not going to stop until I get to the second mile. The second mile, it hurt, but I was like, okay, I'm going to stop at the third mile because she challenged me to run 3 miles. I get to the third mile, and as I'm kind of getting through 2.5 and I get into 3, I start to get to there's this moment of just kind of like, okay, still sucks, but I didn't die, right? I didn't die, okay? Let me tell you what transpired from that. That was 2016. This is me crossing the finish line for my first marathon in 2018. Okay? From a challenge from a friend, okay, that said, hey, go run 3 miles. When I said running is stupid, it led to me making the decision, staying in process, to getting to the point where I ran. I've now done 3 full marathons. Okay? I need you to understand that this is not to brag, but to put it in your mind that it's about process, not the result. I stayed in process long enough to where I could see the result. You with me? I stayed in it long enough to actually get the result. And so I share this with you because health becomes wealth. If you take care of your body, you can work longer, you can play longer. When your kids want to reso beso, my son every night, he wants to reso beso. Every night. It's a cage match on the bed, right? Reso beso. And I'm like, it's 8 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock at night. Usually you're like really, really tired. I've worked out. I did 2 workouts yesterday. But you know what? I've got the energy and I'll go reso beso with my son because health is wealth. You take care of yourself, you're going to be able to take care of others. So imagine you today, you can remain like the elephant, conditioned to believe that your qualities are carved in stone, or you can break free of the rope and understand that growth is possible no matter how old you are. Growth is attainable as long as you're willing to stay in process long enough to get to the other side. And maybe you don't ever get officially to the other side. Maybe you don't run a marathon. I'm not saying anybody here needs to run a marathon. It's really hard. But your marathon could be X. Your marathon could be Y. You stay with me? But stay in that process long enough so that you today will literally go back to future you. Future you is looking at you going, man, I'm sure glad you stayed in process. I'm sure glad you got rid of negative bias. I'm so glad that you understood the value cycle. You saw value in yourself to add value to yourself. I'm so glad that you understand responsibility is a pathway to meaning and that you're willing to engage in the process. And so if you wrote all that out, the acronym for each one of those, a little letter, the first letter is reach. We got to reach towards our future self today to make the progress. And the only way we can do that is understand that it's growth mindset that is going to get us to that point. Success is never about the chosen few. It's about the few who choose. If you're a KW person, this is a bold law. It's one of the bold laws.